probably about 10-15 seconds or so. Got the camera out today. Had a few things go on that I want to talk about, and just a lot of things that are changing rapidly with our times, with things. There we go. Now I'm live on YouTube as well as Facebook. Facebook was first. For some reason, Facebook's fast. YouTube is slow to catch up. They have a bigger buffer, I guess. I don't know. You guys can't hear my desktop audio because I turned it off. I wanted to listen to some music. I have a better ability to keep track of what I'm saying when I listen to music. Just kind of goes with the flow. Helps me to speak clearly and concisely for some odd reason. Hey, movie man. You'll have to excuse the coughing. It's live. What else are you going to do? I might play a game here in a little bit, but I really wanted to reach out to you guys, so let me get on the live chat here. There we go. Now I can see the chat, and I can talk to you guys. I don't know why it doesn't show the Facebook chat. Well, I can see the multimedia, and I can test the multimedia on here. Test. There we go. And stream chat, read only, multi-stream. There we go. Okay, yeah, Facebook. Awesome. It does work. There is a bit of a delay, so yeah. I'm just in the multi-stream chat now, so I can see everyone. And I didn't turn my volume off, so that was a mistake. Oh, right. I'm guessing there's about a 5-second delay on the text, and there's at least a 10-second delay on hearing me respond. So be patient with the whole process. It's not exactly the best. Oh shit, sorry. I put my camera on my mic. Not the best idea in the world. I'm full of half-assed ideas. This is my closet. Let's go over here. Now it's to fall. Why? Why do you hate me? Making noise. That's good enough. That is good enough. A little bit of my anime and other collective stuff back there. Got Morty. Oh, jeez. And a few other things. Some anime, some video games. There's more over here. My big computer's over here. I'm guessing it's going to take a while to get people here, so I'm going to start talking. And if you chat, you'll see me respond to it. You really will. Believe it or not, I just want to move this camera because it is falling. It is falling down. I'm sorry, it's gonna make noise. There we go. A little bit better. I don't know how well you guys can hear me. I will try to scoot up closer to this, but it's not at the best length. It's not. I just want to be comfortable and talk with you guys for a while. I'll say it again and again. There is a delay. It's going to take at least 5 seconds for your chat to post, and it's going to take about 10 seconds for me to reply to that post. It is what it is. I'm sure you guys are well aware of the services and their glitches. My throat's very dry right now. I have been sick off and on for a while. This is why I got tested in the first place, because I live with somebody with a compromised immune system, and that makes it a very high-risk situation. My hair's a mess. What else is new? All right. So, I tried to watch some anime the other day. I ended up watching a show that I've already watched. This camera's falling again. It hates me. Trying to figure out how to rig it so it doesn't fall. This would probably be the best way. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna make more noise. Booyah. He ain't moving now. Yeah, definitely ain't moving now. Ah. Okay. One subject at a time. I'll type it down so I don't forget that we already talked about it. That might help a little bit. So give me a second. New text document. I can't see. Oi, 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 oi. There we go. The rich text document just open. I don't care. Oh, it's a Word document. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay. Wow, that brightens up my face, doesn't it? Wow. That blocks the chat too, so hold on a second. That blocks my face. There we go. Love having a big screen, but at the same time, not loving having a big screen. Why do you hate me? Why? Ah, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. There we go. Close enough to what we're gonna get. This is about as good as it's gonna get. Alright, so with the clearest possible ability that I possibly can, because I'm not scripted, talk about pandemic with as much truth as we possibly can, because everybody in the world is keeping track of this. Everybody in the world is having their sources tested. There we go, sorry. Yeah, everybody is having everything checked, cross-checked, and edited down. Even truthful information is being taken down because of the possibility that it's not worded correctly. It's just stupid. So, yeah. So we're counting on mainstream media, the CDC, and the World Health Organization to get us as much information as possible. They are obviously only able to give us the information that's been given to them. So through no fault of their own, they are getting inaccurate numbers and delayed numbers. The tests here, like the one I got, takes at least 7 days to come back. And it hasn't come back yet, obviously. I'm hoping it comes back today. I'm supposed to be receiving a phone call or something along those lines. I would like to go back to work. I would really like to go back to work. It would be great. I have an essential business. I work for an essential business. They make medical cards, so I need to go back and help. Not prone to being lazy or doing nothing. It drives me nuts. I found out I'm a person that if I like what I do, I want to keep doing it consistently. But due to been sick and getting checked, I am now under quarantine and at-home quarantine. Obviously, at-home quarantine, not in a hospital bed, until I get my test results. If they do come back today, hopefully they're negative. That's what I'm hoping for. Just a negative, go back to work, all said and done. Awesome. I didn't feel that sick, but such is the norm with this virus. You don't feel that sick. People my age don't generally get insanely ill or die from it. They just don't. They're healthy like me. They don't. If they're compromised immune system like the person in the house, they can get very sick. They can get very ill if not treated. And they can die. It's terrible. I have a very big feeling, and this is just based off of what I've seen from other countries and just gathering the data myself through the appropriate sites. Worldometers, plural, worldometers, not meter, meters.info has a huge graph and breakdown of everything, and it seems very accurate, and it seems to match the numbers, at least within 24 hours. It matches the numbers of the World Health Organization's chart. So I'm guessing they're probably getting their numbers from that chart. Very dry throat. It's sad. People don't want to pay attention to the really important numbers at all whatsoever. It's not the overall who's recovered. Look at the countries with the most infections. How fast their tests are coming back, and the fact that they don't want to construe the numbers at all whatsoever, like some developed countries for political reasons. They're very high, and the recovery to death ratio is not looking 100% okay in my book. This 4% death rate that they're talking about is not adding up. It's just not. You see in America right now, roughly two-thirds of the people who get infected die rather than recover. That's just right now. And we're a week behind with tests. So, who knows? We're now like third place in the world for infections. But I think that's just because of the slow response rate in the viruses, and China not taking credit for new infections that it is getting. They're lying. It's very easy to tell sometimes. They did, however, I do believe, flatten the curve. They really did, because they locked down entire areas. It's a very harsh reality, but they are a communistic country, so they can take extreme measures very fast. However, a democratic, capitalistic economy with a democratic country, it's slow to react, because our country relies on businesses to keep producing, keep providing incomes, keep us going in general. I don't know about you, but I definitely get worried about these things. I tend to get into the game late. Every type of game, every type of direction, I seem to get into late. I can do it right, I can do it properly, I can constantly be at it for a while, but I feel like, just because of how things happen, I'm a late to the party. I'm a late, I don't know what they call that. Not fashionably late, that's for sure. You're not fashionably late if you're showing up when they're closing. I don't know what point I'm getting to with this. I really don't. I know they're construing the numbers. They're probably going to say, "Oh, well, you don't know, blah blah blah, whatever." I don't care. I'm keeping track of the numbers I know are important. That is recovery to death rate. If more people are dying than recovering, we have to be careful. Our healthcare system is not set up for this. It's not set up for this. We're going to see relatively the same rate of recovery to death throughout this entire thing, which is going to put our overall death rate probably at around 50 to 60%, I believe. We'll see. It might lessen. It might lessen over time as restrictions get harsher and harsher, which have to be approved and all this other stuff. Um, but you got to remember, we're in a state of emergency. So that's like one step away from martial law. Uh, they can, and certain states have made it illegal to frivolously walk around for no real purpose. They've made it so that if you are just walking around, it's a second-degree misdemeanor if you have no real reason to be out. Uh, they're letting people go to parks even though the playgrounds in those parks are closed. That's mixed messages right there if I've ever heard it. So I'm just biding my time. I'm biding my time till a test gets here so I can go back to work or wait another week to go back to work to help with this whole thing. It sucks. It really does. You feel like you're doing nothing to help. And when you feel this helpless, it's irritating to see everyone else around you not responding correctly. I'm sorry, I'm just not into the song that's playing. I took my headphones off. I'm like, nope, done with it. Anyway, it's really rough to get too much into the pandemic. I'm seeing way too many politicians be political about it and not be humanitarian about it, and this is no time to be political on either side, and it's irritating to watch them go back and forth. I do understand why certain things are blocked, but then you come up with a half-assed solution and say, okay, well, this is as close as we're going to get. Why'd you even bother blocking the first one? Because it was 99% the same thing and had the same issues that were not covered. So why block it except for to maybe get like some very minor issues taken care of and spoken about? Not changing the fact that less people are going to get tested. Less people are going to get tested because, specifically in my state, I don't know about yours, our expanded unemployment does not cover people who got infected. It covers people whose businesses are shut down due to the pandemic, not infected people. That is terrible. That is outright disgusting. So people don't want to get tested because if they get sick and their work doesn't close down, they're not covered. That's just the reality of it in my state. Which is Ohio. I don't care if you hear that. I don't care if that's supposedly false information, but it says right on their website the only people covered are from mass layoffs. Mass layoffs are who are covered. Or, also the high-risk people who, in all probability, aren't working in the first place. Right. Anyway. I'm a little scared right now. And I might say something stupid that's not true, but at the same point, I'm trying to be as accurate as humanly possible. I really am. But a lot of things are happening in a half-assed way, and it's irritating. We're leaving a lot of people behind. And the truth of the matter is, no country in this world was ready for this pandemic. No country. Thank you for liking my stream. That's my mom. Anyway, no country in this world was ready for this pandemic. It's such a subtle virus. It sneaks around, doesn't have symptoms to start out with for up to 2 or 3 up to 14 days. It can go invisible while you're infecting people. Or have little to no symptoms and you could be spreading it. It is really a dangerous virus. Very dangerous virus. The subtle ones that don't have vaccines or proper treatments are very dangerous. And we just aren't set up. Our healthcare system, our government, our economy are just not set up for that kind of pandemic. Not a lot of people are. A lot of countries aren't faring too well. Their numbers are climbing. It's only been going on since what, like the middle of February for us. Uh, and it's just escalated very quickly. And they say, hey, you're on your own, but self quarantine. We have no current way to financially fix this for you or our businesses, but hey, self quarantine, do us all a favor and don't spread it. But we have no way to cover ourselves financially. I know you're all with me on the same page as this because we're in the same. A lot of the people are in the same country, or at least the same sort of situation. Um, it is ridiculous. It is. It's just, yeah. I know after this, everybody is going to put a huge emphasis on being prepared themselves. A lot of people are going to become survivalist types or just knowledgeable in survival just in case. And they will reiterate this to their children for years and years to come. And by the time the next pandemic happens, they won't be ready either. It's going to be just a horrible repeating pattern. Um, that's not to say I'm not ready. I've I'm always mentally prepared to make certain decisions and do certain things when needed. I'm not like one of those people that doesn't know how to cook, clean, uh, live outdoors. I can totally do that. I'm self sufficient in many ways. Even though I like to live in the city, I do not require the city to live. It's just, I wanted to be prepared for anything in life. I really did. So I took that kind of direction. Not a lot of people did. And I feel terrible for those people. But we all choose our directions in life. We all choose what we want to do. And you can't tell people to do something that they don't want to do. You can't. I'm not big on control. I'm not. Uh, I'm always about help yourself first and foremost. And if you can help somebody else, do so. Probably why my channel hasn't grown all that much because I don't push for people to support me. I don't. Um, yeah, look out for yourselves. Uh, and once you get into a situation where you can help somebody, you definitely should if you feel it's safe for everybody you have to take care of, your family and your friends, the people that you've hunkered down with, that sort of thing. Just practical help, not impractical help. A lot of that going around these days. Help me, even if it means destroying your livelihoods. Buy my product, even if you don't have it in your budget. That kind of malicious behavior. That is malicious behavior. I don't care who you are. But anyway, off topic. I hope for the best for everybody. I really do. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. This could all breeze over with a low death rate. The recovery rate could spike. We could come up with a vaccine in the next 2-3 months, and that gets approved, and that will be great. To just have a pandemic for 4 to 6 months is actually great news in retrospect. Usually they don't start clinical trials for 6 months to a year, sometimes longer. And I guess we have stuff in clinical trials now. It's great. Yeah. Wish somebody would join the chat, but so far I got nothing. Oh, right. I guess everybody's just as bummed out as I am, maybe. Kind of explains why I haven't done any edited videos for quite some time. I'm pretty bummed out. Every time I think about getting back to part 2 of the Attack on Titan parody, I find out something new about the whole MXR situation, and I mean, now that that's all over and they're taken care of, I still worry about, hey, they compromised. They bought their $49.99 a month thing, and now they have access to all their stuff. They still have to check it every day, but they still have access. It's interesting. It is. It's interesting. Free use seems like it's not readily available anymore. It's rough. It's rough for any new streamer. Things aren't as cut and dry as they used to be. So we can revisit this pandemic stuff if anybody gets on to chat. But I'm going to get into anime. I am totally going to get into anime. Gonna bring up my list on my phone on Crunchyroll. I got the app on my phone because I'm weird like that. Crunchyroll. I've been watching Konosuba, obviously. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Beyond the Boundary. Oh, that is an awesome show, by the way. Beyond the Boundary. Oof. I recommend it for everybody. You gotta see that crap. I also recommend Crunchyroll just because it is... Oh, wow. Anyway, clear that out. Just notifications on my phone. So I'm going to hold it up here so I actually look like I'm looking at you guys instead of just at the ground. Oops, sorry. I'm bumping into stuff now. Ooh, it's going to fall. A certain scientific railgun. That is amazing. That's amazing. ReZero, even though we aren't going to get the second season of that for quite some time. Dragon Maids. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maids. An awesome one. Ancient Mangus Bride. That, my friends, is not a typical anime. It's really not. And I like it a lot here. It'll make noise again, because this thing sucks. Sorry. It's alright. So anyway. One room. Weird. Weird. That's the only thing I can use to describe it as weird. And I was going to do a review on that stuff eventually. A parody review. I totally am. I'm going to. It's going to be all original. I'm not going to use memes. I'm totally just going to start writing some original content. Yeah, it's going to be great. Once I get around to it. Nothing. Nothing from anybody. This is why people schedule stuff. This is exactly why people schedule stuff. Oh, okay. Like I said, we can revisit any of these topics at any time. I'm just trying to get people listening or on here and wanting to chat a little bit. Yeah, so I'm just going to erase that because we can revisit anything. Bye! Don't save. Matter of fact, just get rid of that text document altogether. Empty. Recycle bin, yes. Okay. So here's the thing. I bought a capture card. I broke down. I was like, you know what? I found this capture card for like 18 bucks at Walmart through a third-party seller. $18 for a capture card. I've seen all these other capture cards for like $50, $70, $100. And I'm like, I can't afford that. Cannot afford that. That is too pricey. It's too much. All the stuff I make it myself. There's my logo, my merchandise, and my videos. I edit them all myself. I do all the audio editing. I do everything. So it takes a lot of time. And anyway, got a capture card because there was just way too much delay in the PlayStation SharePlay. I got the SharePlay app, and there's too much glitchiness in my area because the internet service is a little bit lagging, a little bit slow. And fix this. Maybe. Okay, so it's a little bit slow in my area. We're supposed to be getting upwards of 100 megabits per second. We are, for the most part. I think my device that I have that goes through the power line maxes out at about 50 megabits per second, which for any streamer is fine. It's incredible. It's great. It's consistent, but there's fluctuations in it because of how many people they're providing service for in this area. So it glitches. It blips out. So I wanted to get 100% a thing that would allow me to just stream it from my PlayStation directly to my computer. And I figured all I'd need is some sort of adapter that basically went to USB input. That's all I needed. They just call it a capture card, external capture card. That's fine. That's perfectly fine for what I need it for. I can just plug the HDMI from the PlayStation into my computer and then bring up Streamlabs and add the input of the device, of the capture device. It's fine. It's simple. It's easy to do. It worked. It had some sort of weird buzzing noise, and it was 720 by 525 or 575. It was not high definition. It said 1080p. There was not a 1080p setting on it. It was trash. It was junk. I packaged it right back up and took it back to Walmart, and they're putting the shipping label on and sending it right back. It's trash. $18 cards. Don't buy them. They can claim all they want to on their packages. That's not what you're getting. You really, that's the reason you get the refund though, because that's false advertising. And if they don't refund you when they false advertise, they get sued and they can lose their business license because false advertising is illegal, obviously. So they'll do that. They'll just refund you. Oh, okay, this wasn't what you wanted, but we're going to continue to sell this item as 1080p, 60 frames per second. Yeah, they're trash. They're shitty. So I had this little square screen. So it was mushed down because everything on the PlayStation screen is widescreen. And it was a square little box. Square little box. That's exactly what it was. It was ridiculous. Yeah. You just can't help some people. They just want to sell junk. They just want to sell trash. So I have to suck it up and find a cheap capture card that does 1080p, 60 frames per second. Means I probably have to make a trip to Micro Center. Micro Center is great. I don't care who you are. They have awesome shit there. It's awesome. Assuming I get paid tomorrow for a full week of work, like was promised, I may be making a stop there to try to find one for $50, $60 that will do the job adequately. Not like the high-end ones that are like $200 that are guaranteed to 100% work without any little hiccups. Yeah, so at least something that's 1080p. And has a widescreen format. 1080p widescreen, that's all I need. That's all PlayStation, the normal PlayStation 4s are. They are 1080p. I don't have a Pro. I have a regular base PlayStation 4. Yeah. You guys get the gist. So I got gypped. I almost got gypped out of $20. I'll see that money back in maybe 3-4 weeks. Whatever. I'm just gonna count it as gone. That'll be an extra $20 in my bank account I'll be looking forward to later, right? Budgeting. I am great at it. It doesn't happen too often. Usually the stuff I get or I find at a place that's closed right now. My God, that place is awesome. They get overstock and returns from like places like Amazon and junk, and you just go through there hunting for items. Hunting for any item that's worth more than $5, and they sell you that item for $5. Any item in that store, whatever it is. I mean, it's a bunch of random stuff. A lot of cell phone cases that probably aren't worth $5. Tempered glass for iPhones that are out of date. Sometimes you get like the iPhone X's and stuff like that, and iPhone 11 or whatever their number they're on now. But for the most part, a lot of glass, tempered glass for cell phones that don't fit on my phone. But they have a lot of really cool stuff in there. A couple weeks ago, God, I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing it now. I found a one of those masks that has the little filters on them. Yeah, $5. I looked online to see how much those were originally before the price hike, and it was like 25 $25. 15. You could probably get a good, nice one for 15 to $20. And this was one of those $15 to $20 nice ones. One size fits most. Sort of face masks. And oh my God, I wish I would have got it. No idea how much I'm kicking myself. But who knew? Who knew, right? Nothing you can do about it. Anyway, I found a lot of cool stuff there. On my book, I found a MyBook 8 terabyte backup drive, which is currently internally on my computer because, I build and make computers as well. I built mine from chipset. Obviously, I don't make circuit boards. Most people don't. But yeah, I do computer builds, gaming builds, things of that nature. And you guys can see how well my games play. The ones that are on Steam. Sadly, Final Fantasy is not coming out for PC for a year. It's a dick move. It's a dick move. Because now you're forcing me to buy a capture card so I can do live stream right when it comes out. To, actually have quality content. Not blippy ass content. Not really blippy content. Because that sucks. Well, I could do this thing where I go to the other screen but yeah, it's not worth it. So I'll continue this maybe for another 10-15 minutes or so, depending. But it doesn't look like anybody's up for chatting now. I understand, I do. I'm probably just gonna go figure out what to do with my day anyway. And try to stay hydrated. Rest and get better and get this dry throat thing taken care of. I wish you all good luck. I really do. I don't want anybody to be sick. I want things to carry on the way they are. I'm perfectly content with completely being able to ignore my government and progress in my life. But right now, their actions can't be ignored. Um, and you can see that they're providing little to no help for anybody. They're not promoting people get checked. They're not promoting their livelihoods in this pandemic are going to be covered. They just don't care. All they can do is the least, as little as they could possibly do, is what they're going to do. Right now, that is just to tell everybody, hey, you're not financially covered, but self-isolate. And we're going to close all these businesses down, but we're not going to supplement their incomes. And we're not going to supplement the people's incomes. They're going to vote on this package today, that even if it goes through, it's a currency. It's not the monetary currency. It's digital currency. Creating digital wallets for everyone that are like government digital wallets. To tell you the truth, I think they should just keep them. I mean, give them to us, but keep the digital wallet thing open and establish a national base income. And prohibit inflation due to that national income. Everybody knows inflation's a joke. Literally a joke. If you're even partially educated, you understand the supply and demand graph. Very basic, very simple. The X is supposed to be in the middle of the supply and demand little chart thing. But instead of it being in the middle always staying at a certain point, they slide the entire graph to inflate prices and say, well, this is the new medium. That's not how that works. That's called price gouging. But because of the way things are worded, it's illegal price gouging. It's completely ridiculous and avoidable. That's just my feelings on it. It's sad. If we do not cover our greed, make greed liable for its for anybody who practices in that kind of greed and that kind of manipulation, if we don't make them liable, we're going to be a failed system, a failed economy. Capitalism will fail. There is a way to limit capital. Say after you make a set amount in profits, the rest just goes back to your country infrastructure, your country's infrastructure. You don't even have to make it a small amount. Ridiculous. Oil companies, past couple years before this pandemic started, had $19 billion quarters, $19 billion profit quarters. They could literally pay off the national deficit with their profits in a couple years. But they don't see that as their responsibility. They don't see national progress as their problem. Infrastructure, utilities, things of that nature. Oh, not our problem. I mean, we use them every day. We get taxed for them, yeah, but we're getting taxed like 1%, so we don't care. They know they have to close the loopholes, but they don't want to because they own businesses. Here's another problem with our government. Conflict of interest is no longer illegal. Owning a business, conflict of interest. special interest groups or lobbyists are conflicts of interest. It's all common sense shit, but the people that are supposed to be in charge of regulating this are guilty of this, so they are not going to regulate it. There are laws in place that say this stuff is actually illegal. Straight out. Doesn't matter how you reword it. It's just illegal. I could go on a tangent for hours, but I'm not gonna. I literally could. It's been about 45 minutes. Nobody wants to chat, or the chat thing's not working, but I just tested it, so it should be fine. Good luck, everybody. We have a lot to work on as a country, and hopefully, being a young country, we can get through this unscathed and make appropriate changes. That's what's got to happen. Long road ahead of us if we play it right. We really do. Nothing's free, but let's stop misappropriating funds. Let's stop misappropriating and hit the people hard who are guilty of misappropriating funds through local governments. There's a huge problem in Ohio right now with the unemployment. They've been scamming people for years out of money. I had an ex who claimed unemployment. Never received anything more than one check one time for like half of what she was supposed to be getting. And then they said she owed like almost $1,000, which is not what she received. When she told them this, they said they'd give us a call back. And never called back. I doubt they even looked into it, because they're the ones guilty of it. Nobody's being held accountable for anything, and that's one of the major problems. Yeah. God, I got so far off track. It's just infuriating. Nothing's being handled right. Nothing has been handled right in the past, and nothing's being handled right in the present. So how do we expect it to ever be handled right in the future? Sorry, I'm all mopey. I need to I need to go like get drunk or something and pass out. I don't know. I don't drink that often, but it's something. I don't know. Oh God. Recycle. This is so you can fit more, by the way. If nobody knew that. Little life hack. You can crush your bottles. They make them that way. That way, you don't just have a bunch of inflated bottles in your trash can and take up too much space too fast. No one doesn't want to seal. I'm full of random crappy knowledge like that. I really am. Feel free to pick my brain. But nobody wants to chat, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I got other things to do. I got other plans. I gotta just got done cleaning a basement a couple days ago. That was a chore. Basement flooded. It's great. Lost a lot of stuff. It sucked. Sucked ass. I was being sarcastic, obviously. So yeah. Cleaned up a basement. Took about almost 2 days. But we got it all cleared out, sanitized, everything. That thing is like, it looks better than it did before the flood. So, I don't half-ass anything. I really don't. I don't like doing that. Maybe I half-ass this channel. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Alright. I'm really gonna go now. Thanks for your time. Wish everybody luck. Stay healthy. Help your neighbor if you can. Social distancing and all that right now. And after it's all said and done, let's fix some of the problems, the actual problems, not the fear mongering that our governments are doing. See you later, peanut gallery back there. Have a good one.